It's truly heartbreaking to see someone be so deeply affected by the beauty standards that they themselves created.
Kind of like so numb to people talking about my looks at this point.
Unedited photos of Kylie Jenner are circulating the internet, and fans are saying the 25-year-old looks like she's aged 15 years.
And I'll see other comments like, because she did it to herself, she up her face, she has so much surgery.
What's going on with Kylie Jenner's face? As you can see, Kylie's face appears inflated and puffy, making her look much older than her age.
Even if I did get so much surgery and I have this and I got all these things.
Kylie Jenner crying about being held to the beauty standard that her and her family created.
Like, I've never cried about this before, but I guess it does affect me.
Me watching Kylie Jenner cry over comments about her appearance while she and her sisters destroy body images for an entire generation of girls.
Like, girl, the call is coming from the inside of the Mojo Dojo Casa house, okay?
Hi, I'm Salem. Welcome to my Chanel.
And it's currently 1 a.m. and all I've had that's keeping me up is 2 Sour Patch Kids and a Red Bull. I feel like I'm dying. Hey, how you doing? Do you have something to say, Kenji? Oh, I just got attacked on camera. Did you just attack me? Hello everybody, it is me, Salem, and welcome back to my Chanel. Do you have to keep licking the mic? My ASMR commentary. Psych. Look guys, I've gotten the feedback, and the feedback is that some of y'all are not feeling my whole ASMR journey. Trust me, I heard it loud and clear. Y'all shut that down real quick. When I first started my YouTube commentary career, literally everyone and their grandma was begging me to do ASMR. It was like the #1 comment I would always get on my YouTube videos saying like,
You have such an ASMR voice. Please do ASMR. Please do ASMR.
and then I did, and then people were like, you're too quiet. So then I went back to being loud and rambunctious, and then people were like, you're way too close to the mic.
Mother, what more do you want from me?
ASMR, don't ASMR. Noodles, don't noodles. If y'all don't stop playing with me, I will disappear like Master Oogway in the Cherry Blossoms in Kung Fu Panda, okay? I am a mere mortal, I fear. I unfortunately cannot please all of you as much as I would like to. It really reminds me to be grateful for the fans who genuinely love me and stick around and are here for every little silly rebrand that flops. Speaking of flops, the Kardashians. What aren't they up to these days? Aside from making their kids with obviously no talent embarrass themselves in front of the entire world. The fact that this was at the Lion King's 30th anniversary concert too, and Kim paid just for her kid to play the part of Simba in pajamas? What? More recently, there has been a viral TikTok of Kylie Jenner crying. Viral clips of the Kardashians crying go viral all the time because of their Botox face, which looks like this. It's not funny, my diamond earring.
My diamond earring's gone. Again, there's people that are dying.
But instead of a Kardashian crying over a $75,000 earring, it was this clip, which was of Kylie Jenner crying about how she can't keep up with the beauty standards nowadays.
Kind of like so numb to people talking about my looks at this point. I think with me, it's just never gonna change, but it's just like, why do people think it's okay to talk about me?
It's truly heartbreaking to see someone be so deeply affected by the beauty standards that they themselves created. Like, girl, the call is coming from the inside of the Mojo Dojo Casa house, okay? Now, obviously, that clip has brought up a lot of conflicting feelings. People are saying, girl, cry me a river, you're a millionaire. The Kardashians are notoriously known to kind of set these beauty standards that are super unobtainable, to the point where now they have made the beauty standards so unattainable that they themselves can't even catch up with it. Kim made the whole BBL famous, Kylie made the whole big lips famous, and Kendall walks. So I understand why a lot of people struggle to find empathy for Kylie in this clip. However, I cannot believe I'm about to say this, guys. Cannot believe I'm about to say this. I feel bad for Kylie Jenner. Let me
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. All right. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
Let me cook. Also, look at my nails.
Can you see them?
When I say I feel bad for Kylie Jenner, I don't mean that I feel bad for this Kylie Jenner. No. I feel bad for this version of Kylie Jenner. Look, hate the Kardashians all you want. Hate them because of them being capitalist swine, having flop products. Like, girl, what is poosh? Just me saying that makes me feel like I need an adult. Those are all valid. But this is a situation where I believe two things can be true at once. On one hand, Kylie Jenner has negatively impacted a whole generation of young women, making them have poor self-image and body issues because they don't look like her, because the way she looks now was obtained through plastic surgery, which they all deny still. And I'm like, be so for real. The second truth is that Kylie was also a victim herself, being a minor in the limelight where the media was constantly bashing how she looked.
People have been talking about my looks since I was 12, 13. Before I even got lip filler, people talk about my looks. So it's like...
And she also grew up seeing her older sisters being absolutely critiqued down to their weight. I can only imagine how that affected her mentally growing up. I feel like it's important we discuss the context of this clip and the leading up to this clip. And more importantly, how it's actually not entirely the Kylie Jenner family's fault for the beauty standards being the way that they are. I mean, it is, but also it isn't. It's a toxic cycle of giving into a sexist, patriarchal society, as well as giving into what people say about you and trying to quote unquote fix it through surgery and Botox. But then if you don't fix it, you're dragged. Then when you do try to reverse it, you're dragged still. In my opinion, this is a problem that surpasses way beyond the Kylie Jenners, where this is now affecting everyday women without platforms, and they too are falling into the same trap the Kylie Jenners fell into, which is feeling like nothing is ever good enough, that they are never good enough. For that, we can find sympathy and empathy. But are the Kylie Jenners exempt from this? That's the problem. And that is a problem that I'm here to, not solve, but to yap about and make money while doing it. Sit down, relax, get into bed with me, get some water, and let's yap away. But of course, before we get into the BBL fat of the situation, you know the drill, I gotta pay my bills. So here's a word from today's sponsor. And today's sponsor is ZocDoc. You know when you go to see that side of your family where all they do is ask you very invasive questions such as, are you engaged yet? Do you have a boyfriend? Gee, thanks grandma. You do not have to feel that way towards your doctor. Thankfully, we have ZocDoc, the place where you can find and book doctors who will make you feel comfortable and actually listen to you. ZocDoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare highly rated in-network doctors near you and instantly book appointments with them online. So no more waiting like 10 years for one doctor's appointment just for them to gaslight you and tell you all you need to do is drink water. For those of you guys who don't know, I have PCOS and I've been on a health journey for a long time now, and my health is a #1 priority, and ZocDoc can definitely help not only me but also you take another step in that journey. So go to ZocDoc.com/Salem and download the ZocDoc app for free. Then find and book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/Salem. ZocDoc.com/Salem. Part 1. The unexpected but kinda expected rise of Kylie Jenner, from self-consciousness to beauty empire. If I tell you to imagine the Kardashians, many people will have this image in their head, but not many people will have this image in their head. In 2007, the Kardashian empire landed a TV show, Keeping Up with the Kardashians, produced by Ryan Seacrest. I did not know that, but now I do know that. Oh yeah, and also they have a brother, Rob, but we don't talk about him. Because what really matters is Kris Jenner, the matriarch of the Kardashian and Jenner family, saw the potential and branding opportunities from her 5 girls, going as far as naming all her kids with K names. To stay on brand, of course. Except for Rob, we don't talk about him. You see, Kris Jenner calls herself a momager, which is a mom and a manager.
When I first heard about Kim's tape, as her mother, I wanted to kill her. But as her manager, I knew that I had a job to do, and I really just wanted her to move past it.
Which honestly makes so much sense. And almost immediately, she saw a brand in all her girls and kind of assigned them fashion, makeup, or some sort of business line that each one of them can promote, which has then led to open their own businesses as they got older that are now super successful. So when people think of this version of the Kardashians instead of this version, This version was only obtainable because Kris Jenner had a plan from the very beginning to basically brand all her children, except for Rob. Shout out to all my followers out there who are low-key the Rob of their family. Stay strong. All he does is sell socks, and Kris Jenner knew from day one, if you want longevity financially, you can't just sell products, you have to become the product. You are the brand. Kris Jenner may be their mom, but she's also their manager. And she is crazy smart when it comes to money.
You know what? I just want to talk to you for 2 seconds.
I'm just saying hi to my daughter.
I'm just on a deadline here. I just have 2 seconds. Can we call her right back?
Perhaps too manager than mom. When it comes to Kim's situation, she was already an adult. Same with Khloe and Kourtney. But Kylie and Kendall were completely different, as they were the youngest. As soon as they stepped into the spotlight, their debut into the show Keeping Up with the Kardashians, they immediately had all eyes on them. Especially the youngest out of all the Kardashian sisters and the Jenner sisters, Kylie. The media was bashing her at only 14 years old by millions and millions of people at an age where your brain is not developed at all. People wondered why Kendall and Kylie looked so different from the Kardashians. People saying that her lips were small and that she appeared underdeveloped, even though she was literally just a kid. But when Kylie turned 16 years old, she entered her King Kylie era. Bro, also, while I was searching up Kylie Jenner's 16th birthday party, I ran into this photo. What is this? Drake is never escaping the allegations. This is hard, cold proof. Trying to strike a chord and it's probably A minor. Where she completely skyrocketed in fame with the younger generations due to the rise in usage of Instagram and Snapchat. This is where Kylie would get her start in colorful wigs, cultural appropriation, and her makeup skills, specifically at the time overlining her lips, which led to her opening up her own cosmetic line, Kylie Cosmetics, where she would promote these lip kits that claimed that you too could have lips like Kylie Jenner. And another thing that happened when she was 16 was she got lip filler and continuously lied about it. And I wonder how she even did it as a minor. Like, she had to have someone there to sign some sort of waiver that an adult was there with her. But knowing Kris Jenner, who knows what happened? Maybe she thought it would be a good PR stunt and good for business, who knows? But point is, this opened Pandora's box in Kylie Jenner's career for basically ever. People would criticize the fact that she got filler, and then pretty soon she got Botox, then pretty soon she got a breast augmentation, then a BBL, then so much more. The topic of how Kylie Jenner looks is still very rampant. People saying that she looks weird, she looks old, she looks like Uncanny Valley. I actually mentioned this in a previous video where Kylie Jenner attended a Paris Fashion Week event. She looked very different. She looked like this. And many people had a lot to say about how she looked. But the reality is that she actually dissolved her filler, which caused her face to look a little bit hollow, which she also got criticism for. And this is what I kind of get stuck on. She got criticism for not looking like her sisters, so she went under a lot of procedures to look like her sisters. Then she got a lot of criticism for going too far. And then when she reversed it, she still got criticism. So what is it exactly people want from Kylie? I know a lot of people say they want honesty, but the truth is Botox, filler, and a lot of aesthetic procedures are still stigmatized like crazy to this day. But throughout her journey of getting extreme plastic surgery, she slowly also became a perpetrator, enforcing those toxic beauty standards as she went. And now that she's trying to reverse her work, the damage has already been done outside of her upon a generation of women. It's a toxic cycle that keeps on repeating and keeps on repeating until someone breaks, and Kylie did. And honestly, rightfully so.
People have been talking about my look since I was 13. Before I even got lip filler, people talk about my looks. So it's like kind of like so numb to people talking about my looks at this point. I went on a journey the last year dissolving like half my lip filler. I think with me it's just never gonna change, but it's like, why do people think it's okay to talk about me.
Society, her older sisters being a bad example, Kris Jenner installing being a brand and being the product since day one into all of her daughters' heads definitely played a big part in it, in my opinion. For now, Kylie can't do anything without it being politicized, criticized, or seen as the end of the world. But like I said at the beginning of this video, this is a situation where two things can be true at once. Kylie Jenner, at one point when she was a teenager, was a victim of a cruel society and so many other factors. However, once she was an adult and took matters into her own hands, she became the perpetrator of the same toxic beauty standards she grew up with. Part 2. The Kardashian aftermath on an entire online generation. The rise of BBLs, lip filler, and Facetune. BBL Drizzy! BBL Drizzy. Why is my hair giving anxiety from inside out too? Probably because I've been feeling anxiety. So welcome to my living room. This is a little clay version of Roxy that I made. This section of the video while I was editing did not work out whatsoever. The audio and lighting just kind of gave out. So I have to refilm it. So I apologize in advance for the change. I know how y'all don't like that. I am going to be doing my makeup while I talk about this segment because I think it's fitting, and I also have somewhere to be in a bit. So, the Kardashians and the Jenners. In the first part of this video, I talked about how Kylie, Khloe, Kim, Kendall, Kratos, how they were kind of just set up by their mom and society to kind of become the powerhouses in all the industries you can think of since birth, basically, which kind of led to them being, I would say, the OG influencers. And although a big part of this was kind of like not their fault. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Oh. Because they were influencing from even before Snapchat and Instagram was like a thing. So when social media started to really rise in modern day culture, it only makes sense that they would kind of transport their branding and their businesses and just them being the product onto social media to sell essentially themselves and their brand. And the thing about the Kardashians is that their brand is themselves, and that entails how they look. And that's because they are beauty associated, but also because they're women, and let's be honest, there's no male equivalent of the Kardashians because society is sexist, but I digress. Also look at my big ass beauty blender. It gets the job done so quick. Like, I don't have time for like, oh, let me just do this, do that. Like, no, just slap it on me. Let me get it over and done with, you know? Them having a massive presence then online, I personally think was the start of just everything bad with the internet and beauty standards and the Kardashians and so on and so forth. Their Instagram feed and Snapchat feeds and Tumblr feeds, whatever, all of that stuff, right? Started to become a thing where they kind of were like the OG people who would post pictures of themselves, which a lot of people used to do back in the days, but not like the Kardashians, in the sense of, this is the makeup I'm using, this is how hot I look in this photo, like very that. The more they started to tweak their photos with filters and eventually Facetune. Now this is what I personally think was the start of them reinforcing really bad beauty standards onto the newer generation, because Gen Z was raised with the internet. They weren't raised with this version of the Kardashians, they were raised with this version of the Kardashians. And this version of the Kardashians started with a massive online presence. They kind of started the whole like Insta baddie look, you know, the ones that look like IMVU characters. Pretty soon people would wonder, how do the Kardashians look so perfect all the time in their photos? The Kardashians look like this at the beach, while I look like Patrick in that one episode at the beach.
Dude, put that thing away. They're like children here. I'm going to the snack bar.
Put it away, man. There's like kids here. Too relatable. To this day, I refuse to wear a bikini. I don't care. And this is where the Kardashians went really wrong with their branding and how they shifted that narrative from being victims to being people who reinforced a very toxic beauty standard onto young women. This transition is pivotal, okay? Their content gave birth to other Instagram baddies and other influencers who soon would look copy paste to them, because they too started to use filters and also would take their photos to their plastic surgeons and Botox ladies and stuff like that, and were like, how can I look like Kylie? How can I look like Kim? Their secret being all the surgeries that they keep denying that they had. This is where people started to get really mad at the Kardashians, because the only way you could achieve their Instagram baddie look was through these very invasive procedures. The race to achieve this look and look like the Kardashians or the Jenners was so intense that people were literally risking their lives to do so. A woman by the name of Christina Ashton relied on an aesthetic procedure to sculpt her body to an exaggerated version of Kim Kardashian's, as well as various other surgeries to look like Kim Kardashian. And she was really popular. She had over 500,000 followers on Instagram. But on April 19th, Christina went to a hotel room inside of San Francisco airport where she received several silicone injections for the enhancement and later died the following day from cardiac arrest. And from my research, I haven't seen anybody from the Kardashian family speak out on this at all, let alone their plastic surgeries. And people are still getting these types of procedures to this day to achieve the Instagram baddie look. And the worst part is that many people who go for this look, and even the Kardashians and Jenners themselves, will not admit to getting this dangerous work done, despite them negatively inspiring people to do the same and not bringing awareness as to what could go wrong in these procedures. And they kept lying about it, even though it was very, very obvious. Like, girl, puberty does not do this to you. Silicone does. I don't even think bodies are naturally shaped this way. That's crazy. This is when we start to get into the era where you start to see this rise on Instagram, where you kind of start to run into clones and lookalikes. And a lot of people have kind of dubbed this look as copy-paste influencer, but I would more so call it iPhone face. And iPhone face is literally just someone who knows what an iPhone is, which also means Instagram face, which is related to the concept that the face and physique in general vibe to that person closely resembles that of an Instagram influencer that all look alike. Like, you wouldn't be in a historical piece, you would 100% be on Love Island, you know what I mean? Ugh, look at this blush. I'm such a blush girly, and I've always been since day one. I know it kind of makes me look like Krusty the Clown, but I just love it so much. I love it. I don't care. Which I would call a social media face that's always camera phone ready. It's always to look good in all lighting. Like, you don't look real. But that's also why in real life, when Kylie Jenner and Kim Kardashian step out of the social media space and TV space, they look a little uncanny valley. And that's because that type of iPhone face and influencer copy paste look wasn't meant for the daylight. But because of this being so normalized, and a lot of people who are younger not understanding that their faves have Botox, have plastic surgery, and also edit their photos because a lot of people lie about it, it kind of led to this whole generation where to this day, people have severe facial dysmorphia and body dysmorphia because we don't know how normal people look anymore because of people wanting to appear social media ready, not real world ready. And it went on to be reinforced by all these other influencers and content creators who kind of do the same. And the BBL was popularized by Kim Kardashian, which is a very dangerous surgery to have. And having the really big lips was popularized by Kylie Jenner, even though women of color look like that already, and y'all already know the Kardashians and the Jenners are culture vultures, but it is what it is. To the point where people were doing the Kylie Jenner lip challenge. Do you guys remember that? That was a wild time. Fast forwarding to modern day time, Instagram face and influencer face, copy paste influencer, iPhone face, whatever, has been so normalized to the point where I feel like Gen Z doesn't know how to differentiate the people that they see online from having that and them being convinced that it's natural. Because so many of Gen Z's, like it girls or whatever, like even Bella Hadid has gotten a lot of surgery, but I feel like a lot of people still aren't open about talking about it. And that is where I feel like the Kardashians' influence also kind of came in, which I understand because it's like women kind of get dragged for whatever they do. However, at this point in the context of the Kardashians, it's completely different because of the impact they've had in those scenes and industries. I do think it's kind of cowardly to want to dissolve your filler and reverse all this work you've gotten done, such as Kim Kardashian reversing her BBL right when they damaged a whole generation of women. And that is absolutely their fault. And I think that's why a lot of people struggle to find sympathy and empathy for these women, because they really do, because they honestly keep biting the hand that feeds them and then ditching the hand, if you will. And I know a lot of people are like, well, why don't influencers and content creators and people in general, even the Kardashians, just not get work done? Honestly, guys, it's a lot easier said than done. The pressure to conform to look good in this industry is insane. And honestly, that's also the Kardashians' fault. They have made it so that being attractive is kind of a prerequisite to being a social media influencer. And it's really hard not to give in to the pressure. As much as you want to be a person who makes content, it doesn't matter what you do, your looks are always going to be dragged and brought up. Let's talk about it.
Final part. There is no right answer or right solution. Only what's best for you.
I have been very honest in the past before about how I literally have body dysmorphic disorder, but it's actually gotten better throughout the years. That's such a lie. No, it hasn't. Ever since I've been on the internet, it's gotten a million times worse, okay? I would have never thought about getting surgery or Botox or anything if it wasn't for the internet. And it sucks because I feel like I have a lot to say and I want these videos to help motivate people to be better or provoke thought, you know? But somehow it always ends up being about my looks or how I talk or how I am as a person. And it's been like the most triggering, weird journey I've ever been on in my life, where at first I felt gaslit when people are like, why does your face look like that? Is there something wrong with me? Like, I didn't know that, you know, there's something wrong with me. But then I would get these comments so often about how weird my face was, how I was fat and everything. I eventually did get work done. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, there was a time where I was addicted to filler and Botox, and it was not that long ago. If you guys remember these thumbnails, like, girl, I was Botoxed up and fillered up to the gods. Like, it was crazy.
And what was crazier is because I looked that way and the thumbnails were popping. Yes, the content was good, but the thumbnails were, I mean, come on. I ate. The algorithm was pushing me even more, which made me feel kind of worse because it's like, damn, no one really cares about my message. People only care about how I look, for real.
A lot of people don't know you need to continuously get filler and Botox. When that went away, it triggered me so bad. I know, Kenji.
I was really like, don't look at me, I caught the ugly.
The thing about getting work done to your face that a lot of people don't talk about is once you do one thing, you're gonna start to hyperfixate on other imperfections people have installed in your head.
Like, I for real be looking at where I can get Jojo Siwa, Steve Harvey looking at veneers. I don't know, man, I was spiraling. But that's how people end up in the Kylie Jenner trap, where they keep going and keep going, and then they end up looking unrecognizable. Thankfully, I have people in my life who stop me from doing anything too crazy. But imagine if I didn't. Imagine if I had enablers. Imagine if I had a even more massive platform for people to criticize me extra hard. Imagine if I had tied myself to a brand where I am the product and it's in the beauty industry. Like, bruh, I would be done for. But that's why it's important to
better understand why people alter their looks, why they keep going, so we can have less cases like the other Kylie Jenners out there in the world who don't have platforms.
And obviously you can still get work done and do whatever you want with your body. I mean, it's your body and it's your face. But I think definitely just be honest about it, especially if you have a platform.
But either way, what matters is that we have more open and candid conversations about the nuances between beauty standards and how you can both be a victim and be a perpetuator at the same time. Now, you can't escape from the Kardashians.
And you can't escape the toxic beauty standards that change literally every year or so. But you do have a say in what type of content you consume.
Log off your phone, unfollow the people who make you feel bad about how you look, and trust me, your world is going to be so much better. And since this is a topic that's near and dear to my heart, I have donated some money to the Body Dysmorphic Disorder Foundation, and if you guys are interested in doing that as well, I would leave a link to that in the description down below. Alright guys, that is it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Do you have anything to say, Kenji? He is pooped, and I am too. I know you guys can't tell right now, but it's like literally like 9 p.m. I'm gonna pass out after this. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you guys watched the entire thing, make sure you comment down a duck emoji down below so I know that you watched the entire thing, and you will win an internet hug. This is me subliminally hugging you. Make sure to also like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you are alarmed whenever I upload a video. Also comment down what your opinion is, and obviously keep it nice and respectful or else I will block you. I'm not playing these games. If you guys want to follow me on Instagram, go ahead and do that. My Instagram is _Salem Tovar _. You can follow me on there. I also have a podcast called the Salem Tovar Podcast on Apple Music, Spotify, literally anywhere. So go ahead and give that a listen if you guys want to listen to me while you shower or something. I don't know. And honestly, that is it for today's video. My only homework for you guys today is to give yourselves a damn mental break because you deserve it. Thank you guys again for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.